So if you found your way to this video, chances are you suffered some sort of injury as a result of dental work. And I'm sorry for that. Dental work is bad enough without something going terribly wrong. And none of us like to get any dental work done. It's a nightmare when things go wrong. However, with the help of this video, and maybe some of the materials on our website, we can give you some helpful information that can guide you to making the right decision about what to do next. Now, let's talk about what we're looking for in dental malpractice cases. First of all, dental malpractice cases are not like other types of personal injury cases. They fall under the category of medical malpractice, and thus there's a lot of hurdles between injured people and getting compensation for their injuries. In Florida, the medical malpractice statutes can be found under Chapter 766 of the Florida statutes. Because of these extra hurdles in dental malpractice cases, we must carefully pick and choose which cases we take on, because these cases are extremely difficult and expensive to move forward. So what are some of the types of cases that we're more likely to take? Well, first of all, let's talk about nerve injury cases. We handle cases involving damage to the inferior alveolar nerve, which is the nerve that runs right through the middle of the patient's lower jaw. Patients with inferior alveolar nerve damage often need to have microneurosurgery to repair their damage, which is extremely expensive, and it's not always successful. Patients with inferior alveolar nerve damage usually experience numbness in their face, gums, lower lips, and chin. And sometimes these patients will also experience a neuropathic condition, like trigeminal neuralgia or anesthesia dolorosa, which will manifest as pain or other odd sensations in the same areas or in the areas of numbness. Now, we also handle nerve injury cases that involve damage to the lingual nerve, which supplies sensation to the tongue. People or patients with serious lingual nerve damage may experience very serious numbness or total numbness in the tongue, which causes them to have difficulty eating, drinking, and speaking. Additionally, numbness in the tongue can cause these people to accidentally bite their tongue whenever they're chewing food. And this type of injury can be absolutely devastating and frustrating. Other dental malpractice cases we take involve someone dying in the dental chair because the dentist failed to properly study the patient's medical history, or because the dentist improperly administered drugs to the patient. These are called wrongful death cases. And in these cases, the dentist fails to properly assess the risks of working on a particular patient, and a family will lose their loved one as a result. Other serious dental malpractice cases can involve a serious infection in the bone called osteomyelitis. Now, osteomyelitis can develop in the absence of blatant dental negligence. However, sometimes the osteomyelitis will develop because of a clear issue that the dentist caused, which we call iatrogenic. For example, if a patient has their wisdom tooth extracted on the lower jaw, and the dentist fractures the jaw and fails to properly address the fracture, the patient may develop an infection in that fracture. And as a result, the patient may lose a portion of his or her jaw and need multiple reconstructive surgeries to rebuild the jaw. Another very serious type of dental malpractice involves the failure to diagnose cancer. Sometimes a dentist will miss cancer or squamous cell carcinoma on an X-ray. And as a result, the patient doesn't receive timely treatment for the cancer. And as a result of that, the cancer can spread and cause death or serious injury. These are heartbreaking cases, and they're often due to the dentist failing to notice an abnormal growth and send the patient immediately to a specialist to get that growth checked out. Yet another type of dental malpractice we handle is where the patient has a procedure performed on the wrong tooth. This could be a surgical procedure or an extraction. As you might imagine, these are some of the more blatant types of dental malpractice. After all, it's difficult for a dentist or specialist to justify performing a procedure on the wrong tooth or extracting the wrong tooth. Finally, we handle cases involving botched root canal procedures. Now, sometimes these botched root canals can involve an overfill, where the dentist pushes too much material into the tooth and it comes out through the apex of the root. The worst types of overfill cases are where the material is pushed into the inferior alveolar nerve canal on a lower tooth, which can cause the patient permanent nerve damage. Another type of botched root canal involves a perforation, which is essentially where a dentist or endodontist drills a hole through the side of the tooth while doing the root canal. And in the worst cases, the dentist will fill the hole in the patient's bone and surrounding tissue with sealant and gutta percha, and then send the patient home. And this can be extremely painful, and these perforations will often ruin the otherwise healthy tooth, and the patient will ultimately need a dental implant to replace that lost tooth. One more botched root canal situation is where the dentist breaks off the root canal file in the tooth. And sometimes this file can be broken off where it protrudes through the apex of the root into the inferior alveolar nerve canal. And again, we're talking about nerve damage here and a lot of pain. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you've been injured by a dentist and you think you may have a viable dental malpractice case, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to give you a free legal consultation and talk with you more about what happened to you. We handle dental malpractice cases in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. And you can schedule your free consultation by calling us at the number below in the video description. Or you can look us up at www.carelessdentist.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.